Hello Milky friends, MelkStehul here with video number 4 for Christmas. So this video took a while for me to make because I had to work out the math behind Gingerbread Puppet House. Gingerbread Puppet House confused the bejesus out of me. It's not the most straightforward, I guess, event in the game. Well, I mean it is, right? So all you do is basically here, you sacrifice a bunch of 3, 4, 5-star heroes to create snowflakes, and then using those snowflakes, as well as the gingerbread men, which you get from socks, or you can buy at 500 a piece, you can exchange those two things for either a 6, 9, or 10-star dummy. And so, if you don't do the math, intuitively that seems okay, but it's actually phenomenal value when you've actually done the math and you reason it out. And so I've done the math and I've reasoned it out. So before we actually talk about, I guess, the math behind the Gingerbread Puppet House, let's get some key numbers in mind. So a long time ago, I made a video, I think it was titled, "The Only Thing That Matters in This Game is Food." And so that's where I calculated how much food you needed to E5 a hero. And I got to a number of 307. So you need 9 copies of a hero, as well as 307 5-star photo. That's a fuck ton of food, as you've probably come to realize. So that's a big number. But leaving that aside, that's not the number we're interested in. The numbers that we're interested in are how much 5-star heroes you need to make a 6-star copy. And the answer is 6. To make a 9-star copy, you need this much food, which adds up to 28. And to make a 10-star hero, you actually need a lot more than that. You need twice as much because it involves, more than twice that, because it involves effectively 2 9-star heroes that need to be created plus a 6-star. Anyway, to make a 10-star hero, you need 64 5-star heroes. So remember those numbers, because we're going to use those numbers as anchor numbers to compare whether or not snowflakes and gingerbread men, or well, Santa Claus, when you convert them, is worth it. Right, and so the first thing to take note of in the Gingerbread Puppet House is what kind of heroes you should be sacrificing. Most people think that you should be sacrificing 3 and 4-star heroes. That's not actually the most optimal thing to sacrifice. So 3-star heroes, if you have access of those or excess copies, then by all means sacrifice those. But you don't get anything for those. You get 20 snowflakes per 3-star hero. 4-star hero, you should not sacrifice these, and here's why. If you sacrifice a 5-star hero, you're going to get 1100 snowflakes. To make a 5-star hero, you need 8 4-star heroes plus a smattering of 3-star heroes, which I consider free. I don't ascribe any value whatsoever to 3-star heroes because you just get them so frequently from a variety of sources, whether you buy them for gold in the marketplace like I do every day, or from scrolls like this week when we did the heroic summons. You just get a boatload of them. So given that if you sacrifice 1 5-star hero, you're going to get 1100 snowflakes, then you would have thought if you sacrifice at least 8 of these, you're going to get a number pretty close to 1100. You don't. 8 times 120 is 960 snowflakes, meaning there's a difference of 140 snowflakes, which they say is basically 3-star heroes. And that's not the case. You're actually better off, when you've mathed it out, to actually use the 8 4-star heroes to make a 5-star heroes and then sacrifice the 5-star hero, because you're going to get more snowflakes out of it. I mean, if you do the math out, I think you need 4 3-star heroes? Let me double check. So what does it take to make a 5-star heroes? So you need 8 4-stars and 4 3-stars, right? So if we did that, so how many? 8 times, I'm doing everything on a snowflakes basis. 120 plus 4 times 20. 10. So the shortchanging is 60 snowflakes. So if you made the equivalent 5-star hero using 4, 3, and 4-star shards, right, and you sacrifice that, you get 1100 snowflakes. if you just sacrifice the constituent components, you're only going to get 10,040 snowflakes. So they're shortchanging you 60 snowflakes instantly. Takeaway, just sacrifice 5-star shards. Do not sacrifice any 4-star shards unless you're... There's only one instance where you would sacrifice 4-star and 3-star shards. And that's if you're trying to get the exact amount of snowflakes. Because guys, when the event ends, if you have additional snowflakes that you can't spend, that's wasted. You can't... they don't let you convert it to gold or back into shards, right? Well, they sort of do. But you need 22 to get... what is it? To get this. Bottom line, I would just ensure that you sacrifice as much food as you need to get a particular dummy. And don't sacrifice 4-star food or 4-star heroes. I cannot emphasize that enough. Okay, so that's making snowflakes. So you need snowflakes, which are these things, and Santa Clauses to make these dummies. Santa Clauses you can get from the sock every day, or you can buy one Santa Claus for 500 gems. Now, let's talk about whether or not it's worth making the 10-star dummy and the 9-star dummies. And in order to do that, you kind of have to work out how much the Santa Clauses are worth and what that implies in terms of the food that it's difference that it's making up. It's not going to make sense now, but let me talk through it. So to make a 10-star puppet, in real life, if you did it just from scratch without using this event, it's going to cost you 64 5-star heroes. So remember the number that I quoted at the start? We see it again here. 64 5-star heroes to make a 10-star, effectively a 10-star hero. But if you did it in this event, if you did it in this gingerbread puppet house, you need 55,000 snowflakes, which when you convert it to how many heroes you need to get 55,000 snowflakes, it's 50, because it's 55,000 divided by 1,100, which is 50. So you have to sacrifice 50 5-star heroes to get enough snowflakes to make a 10-star puppet. So now all of you are probably going, well, hang on, that's a great deal. I only need to sacrifice 50 heroes for something that costs 64 heroes. I'm gaining 14 heroes. Not quite. This is where it gets confusing, right? So even though there's a gap in the amount of food that you need, that gap is made up by Santa Clauses, right? So the Santa Clauses are basically pseudo food, which if you're trying to create a 10-star dummy, you need 16 Santas or about 8,000 gems, because you can buy those for gems, right? So then those of you that are quick have probably come to realize, well, hang on, that 14 is not really free. We're paying 8,000 gems for 14 food. And then those of you have gotten to the next level have probably worked out, well, hang on. So how much is that? If we're paying 8,000 gems for 14 food, what's the cost for each of those 14 5-star heroes that we're buying effectively through Santas, right? Santas, like, they just introduced Santa to confuse the thing. But when you do it out, the number's actually pretty damn good, right? So 8,000 divided by 14 means each of the 14 food that you're short, or that you don't think that you don't have, that you think you don't have to pay for, but yes, you do have to pay for in the form of Santa Clauses, or basically 8,000 gems. One of those 40, each one of those 14 food, each one costs 571 gems effectively. And so when you compare that to where else you can get food from, and I'm talking event rate here, which is basically the cheapest food that you can get at 400 gems per, effectively 400 gems for 8 4-star shards to make 1 5-star hero. That's the cheapest place you can get it anywhere in the game. In Aspen Dungeon, you can buy 1 5-star hero for 1,000 gems. This is basically nearly half price. So when you look at these prices for the 10-star dummy and the 9-star dummy, where the cost of the incremental food you can buy using gems, and the cost for 1 5-star hero equivalent is only 569 or 571 gems, then you're probably, it's click by now, right? That's phenomenal value. You can't get it anywhere else in this game. The one constraint to you just killing this, just absolutely taking advantage of this, is the fact that you still need a boat ton, a shite ton of food to sacrifice to make the snowflakes. And they're smart. They were very smart. Because if you could buy snowflakes for gems, I'm sure a lot of people would have just absolutely killed it in terms of making food. But they had to constrain it. But don't get me wrong, it's still phenomenal value in terms of the fact that you can now buy additional food effectively for 571 gems per piece, or 569 gems. Well, let's just call it 570. 570 gems per 5-star hero is what it's allowing you to buy in the form of these Santa Clauses when you buy, or when you go after a 10-star dummy and a 9-star dummy. So I'm just, for me personally, I'm going through my bag like crazy and working out everything that I can pull out. So I'm going to pull out all these. I'm going to pull out all these. And I'm going to start sacrificing things that I know I will never build. So I'm going to sacrifice all my pennies. I already got one E3 penny. I'm going to sacrifice my scaries. I will never build scaries. Never. Even though I have 7 copies. I will never build Sigmund. I will never build Ormus. I'm literally going through my bag and sacrificing everything. Because I don't think this kind of deal will ever be repeated. Well, not for a very long time. This is... If you don't get it by now, this is just big. This is so phenomenal right now. If food is the one thing that's slowing you down, which is for me, and I'm a bit of a, well, I understand for most people, it's probably copies that are slowing them down, or a mixture of both. But for me, literally, I have enough copies to build nearly everything that I want to, right? So if you look at my, not there, if you look at my, I keep going in the wrong place, guys. If you look at my hero, right, here's my situation. I have enough copies to E5 Oberon. I have enough copies to E5 Penny. I have enough copies to basically E3 Amun-Ra, E5 Garuda, but all that costs a boat ton of food. It'll take me at least half a year to save enough food to basically E5 all the heroes from Oberon, Penny, Belrain, Amun-Ra, Ada, and Garuda. And by that time, a bunch of new heroes would have been released. So what this event has forced me to do, especially this Gingerbread, this Gingerbread event. What this has forced me to do is effectively just be really critical about who I build. And it's basically time for me to spring clean. So that's the 10-star and 9-star puppet. If you have the means to build it, do it. And just start sacrificing heroes that are pretty good, not great, that you know that you will never build. Because food is the one constraining factor in this game. And here, they're giving you a chance to get a leg up. So you should absolutely do it. So then the next question is, you're probably asking, well, if the 9 and 10-star food dummies, well, dummies are that great value, what about the 6-star dummies? Are they just equally as good value? So let's just start with the 6-star non-light and dark. Here, the value isn't as good. Here, to build a 6-star non-light dark dummy, it's basically saying the implied price of the food that you have to pay, which is the cost of the gingerbread man, effectively, to pay for the gap. Here, it's saying that the cost of the food is about 1,031 gems, and that's as much as you can get in Aspen Dungeon, right? Well, a bit more actually. So my recommendation is, if you can avoid it, do not build the 6-star non-light dark dummies. They're just not worth it. So then what about the 6-star light and dark dummies? These are actually worth it. When you do have the math, it doesn't stack up. Basically, to build a 6-star light dark dummy, you have to give one extra hero than what you normally would. So in real life, you only need to get 6 effectively light dark heroes to build that dummy. But here, to build a 6-star light dark hero, it's allowing you to use basically non-light dark resources, but it's asking for an extra one to build that light dark 6-star dummy, right? So you need to sacrifice 7 5-star heroes from a non-light dark faction, which is one more 5-star hero than what you normally need to build a 6-star hero. So there's a gap of -1, meaning you got to sacrifice one more. On top of that, you've got to pay 1,500 gems. So the cost of a 6-star light dark is the normal cost of a 6-star hero plus one extra hero plus 1,500 gems. And you've got to ask yourself, is that worth it? And the answer is absolutely. It is near impossibly hard to build 6-star light dark heroes. As someone that's done a stack of profit orbs, you need to go through that profit orb tree like crazy, like at least 400 profit orbs just to get enough food to make enough 6-star light dark heroes. And so I've gone away and I've done that. I have done, if I look at my bag, I've effectively built myself one 6-star dummy in light for my Ada to get her to 10-star. And then 4 dark 6-star, dark 6-star dummies for Chinese New Year. Because my focus now on Chinese New Year, where I know they're going to release an overpowered dark hero. I think they fucked people over with Tara this year. It's the same as what happened last year, right? It's a trap. Anyone that went for Tara right now have probably realized that the developers have just played this very sneaky trick on us, where because they know people would have saved up, right, for the Christmas event, because everyone knows a new light hero is getting released. They purposely underpowered Tara. Well, I don't think they purposely underpowered him, but they purposely made people spend, because in less than a month's time, when Chinese New Year comes around, which is 25th of January 2020, they're going to introduce a dark hero, and they're going to know that people would have used up all their scrolls, that they're going to have to re-buy scrolls during that event to get a dark hero, which in order to encourage people to buy scrolls, they're almost certainly going to make that new dark hero that comes out Chinese New Year overpowered. I know it, hands down for a fact. I'm willing to put money on it. I think it was a very dirty thing that they did to release this light hero right now and make it underpowered, right? It was to force people to spend all the scrolls they've been saving up the entire year, waste it, so then when the new dark hero comes out, in order for people to spend on that, they have to make it overpowered. This happened last year, guys, or this happened this year rather. Aspen got released at Christmas, and Aspen was okay. In my opinion, Aspen was actually much better than Tara. But then Ada came out. Ada was the game changer. It was like the what the fuck. But by that time, people had already spent all their scrolls during Aspen. Anyway, big rant, I digress. I've basically prepped for that dark hero that I know is coming by building these dummies. And so next steps for me over the coming days is basically I'm going to go through my bag and I'm going to sacrifice all the 5-star heroes that I know I'm never going to build, right? So like I'm going to sacrifice all these scaries. I'm going to sacrifice, not the Michelles because it's food. I'm going to sacrifice Nakia, Cthulhu. Who else do I want to say? Basically any hero that I'm not going to build. Just stop hoarding, guys. There comes a point where you've got to realize that, look at my bag. All these heroes, they're just ones that I'll never build King Barton, I'll never build Scary, I'll never build Singman. So why do I have them? If you think you're going to build them one day, you're not. Because they're always going to really release new heroes that are going to change the meta. Garuda, Unimax. And by the time you get enough copies and enough food to build up one of those heroes, a new hero will have been released. So you holding these old heroes that are taking space in your bag and just not helping you in any way, don't. I'm spring cleaning. I'm going to dump these heroes right after this video. Anyway, that's my assessment of the Gingerbread Puppet Master House thing. I hope you found that useful, and look, really sorry that it took a while, but it threw me. This isn't the most straightforward event for Christmas, but now I'm glad that I've kind of worked it out, and I'm hoping that it makes sense to you the way that I've described it. Thanks for watching the video. Have a great one, guys.